Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube famous now. Available summer 2023, the album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy, and Whitney. And a little solo by Whitney. I've got the stuff that you want. I've got the stuff that you need. I've got more than enough to make you drop to your knees. 'Cause I'm the queen of the night. Queen of the night. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Beast. I still remember the very first time that I ever saw the movie The Bodyguard in the movie theater. Thank you very much. And I can remember that scene when she goes out on stage and performs that song. Oh my god, I love that movie so much, The Bodyguard. That was the movie back in the day. I still love that movie so much. And that is probably one of the greatest soundtracks of life ever put out by any movie. Anyway, okay, so let's get in this video. Today I'm going to be talking about something I haven't actually talked about in a very long time. I'm going to be talking about Deaf Noodles, Dennis Feitosa. Dennis Feitosa. That's what I used to say in my videos. Dennis Feitosa. Deaf Noodles. And Deaf Noodles has, you know, he went through a period where he was kind of going on an apology tour. And then he was kind of trying to revamp his, I don't know if I need to give like a history lesson on Deaf Noodles, so I will in a second, but let's just go in there and let's do the history lesson right now, okay? I wasn't planning to do this, so I don't have a history lesson prepared for drama class today, okay? I kind of feel, I said yesterday I should have hired a substitute teacher. Today I feel like a substitute teacher because I'm not prepared. But anyway, so here is the history lesson of Dennis Feitosa, okay, Deaf Noodles. Well, let's actually talk about Dennis Feitosa. So Dennis Feitosa, I believe, is probably like 30 years old now. It came out like a year and a half, 2 years ago that he was actually 28 years old. So he's probably, I would say, like 30 now, close to 30. He has himself, self-proclaimed, said that he had worked very, very hard to kind of make it big on YouTube, and that he had several different channels that he had developed and was trying to see which one would pop off and get biggest first, and on and on and on and things like that. And that during the lockdown, he was doing, daily kind of pop culture news videos, and he would actually, like, you know, have the Minecraft, background and the cat ears and all that kind of stuff, and he would throw in some sarcastic jokes, but it was basically kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, Michael Buckley, that did the show What's the Buck, and he would have, like, a suit and tie on, and he would sit behind a desk, and he would do, like, pop culture coverage. It was kind of that, okay, and Dennis started the character, which he calls as a brand or a character now, Deaf Noodles, okay? And he would do, I think they were like 20, 30-minute videos every single day where he would cover whatever was going on in the YouTube world or pop culture world, a little bit of mix of both, and kind of throw in some sarcasm. Now, I used to watch a lot of those videos back in the day, and the reason why I think those videos did very good, not just because in this video he says it has a lot to do with the lockdown. I don't know that I necessarily believe that it had a lot to do with the lockdown. I think that we were kind of in between an era of drama commentary, if you want to consider it that, where you either had people that were doing singular videos every single day about separate people like myself, or you had people that were doing long-form content where they were doing like an hour-and-a-half video about one story or something like that. There were very few people that were actually getting in a video and covering 3 to 4 stories and kind of giving you up-to-the-moment news or up-to-the-minute news about what was going on YouTube or pop culture, and just kind of throwing in some sarcastic jokes. It was kind of like just like a kind of like a funny like news kind of story, right? And apparently this was the most miserable, unhappiest time of his life, and he hated doing this at that time. But the views and the subscribers were so great on YouTube, and his channel was building and all this kind of stuff, so he continued to do it, is what he says in his most recent video. So he did that, and his channel began to grow, and he got like over 500,000 subscribers and things like that. Okay, so then Dennis, now Deaf Noodles, had made a decision that this was like just in the last, I would say, year and a half, that he wanted to be a comedian, okay? And so he started this whole, and I'm trying to be really fair and objective to this whole story. I've made many, many jokes, like, are you from Detroit, in my videos and stuff like that, but he made it his life's mission that and listen, I'm not anybody to stand in the way of anybody's dreams, okay? But he made it his life's mission that he wanted to open this comedy club, the Deaf Noodles Comedy Club, and that he wanted to be a stand-up comedian. And you know, through seeing a lot of like clips of his stand-up, it was very obvious that he maybe wasn't the world's greatest comedian, okay? And then it was that the internet, and he also made a comment that he wasn't going to do commentary anymore. He wasn't going to do drama commentary. And so he stopped doing drama commentary for a while he was trying to build this comedy show. And it just kind of seemed like Dennis was lost, right? Okay, and then Dennis kind of started firing back at his fans and his audience. Like, they would say things to him on Twitter, and he would come and he would say very nasty things, okay? Very hurtful things. And he said hurtful things in his comedy show, and there were situations that happened at the comedy show that were, you know, pushing and shoving kind of situations. There was a lot that happened. There's been a lot that has happened, okay, in the last year and a half. A lot of really problematic behavior from Deaf Noodles, and you know, and he says in his video he didn't murder anybody or anything like that. But it was like, really like, he was coming for his audience to some degree. And, you know, sitting back, watching this and thinking, oh my God, this is somebody that has like really worked hard to build his channel, to build his career. And he's literally just handing it all away. Because at that point, people weren't really subscribed to Dennis because of this like love of who he was as a person. They were watching Dennis because of his commentary, his like quick take commentary, right? And so when he stopped doing that, I think he lost a major part of his audience. The audience that remained, he started attacking them to some degree, right? And coming for them and saying all this kind of stuff, and basically saying, you don't have to watch me if you don't like me, and blah, 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 whatever, which is, you know, a fair statement, I think. But he said something, you know, a lot of those kinds of things, and, you know, like, really kind of wouldn't apologize, take responsibility for his actions, which the longer that went on, I mean, there were even people out there that speculated that Dennis was doing all of this to film a documentary to show the downfall of a YouTuber and like what can really happen when you like really crap on your career, right? Which in all honesty, I think that we grant these people like genius moves sometimes when they're not. He should have probably documented the whole thing, and I think that actually would have probably garnered him a lot of views, which he's obviously very concerned about, okay? Which brings me to today's channel, or today's video. So I was actually tagged, or not tagged, but I was DM'd about a couple of his videos. Hold on a second, let me pull it up for you right now. I was actually tagged on a couple of his last videos. I want to make sure that I have the titles correct on these videos. So, the last video that he posted, and it is 28 minutes long, it's called The End of Deaf Noodles, okay? And then I watched another video called Should I Quit, which was from 5 days ago. And both of those videos, people DM'd me, and quite a few actually, because I had made Dennis commentary in the past, and people were saying, you know, like, I really want to know what you think about this, blah, blah, blah. Now, in the Should I Quit video, which is sitting currently at 4,000 views on his Deaf Noodles main channel, which is now not his main channel anymore. He's started a new channel, which is what his newest video is about. The Should I Quit video is about, it's basically, I don't know that I necessarily would call it clickbait, and I feel like everybody clickbaits titles, so I don't really have a huge issue with that. Unless you do it to a point where it's just kind of like ad nauseum, you know, like, but something like this. I mean, he does talk about whether or not he should quit YouTube and what's the point anymore and things like that, but he said this is something that he's so passionate about, so he's not going to stop, okay? Then 5 days later, after he does a video about Logan Paul and aliens and all this kind of stuff, all these videos that are sitting underneath 2,000 views, he comes out with a video 1 day ago, which was a live stream, and it was called The End of Deaf Noodles, not clickbait. Okay. So this is the video that I want to talk about. Now, he has started a new channel, and the new channel is called, hold on a second, Deaf Noodles New, and we'll look on here and see how many subscribers he has on this new channel, Deaf Noodles New, because his whole idea is to beat the algorithm and to create a new community over there while still doing the exact same thing that he's been doing over on his other channel. He is currently sitting at, with 7 videos, he's posting 2 videos a day on that channel. He's currently sitting at 1.38 thousand subscribers, okay? And the last 4 videos that he posted is Man Spends $20,000 to Become a Dog. That has 36 views. 35 views that was posted 33 minutes ago, and then somebody's insane Twitter meltdown that has 268 views. She ruined her life, and that was 3 hours ago. She ruined her life doing a YouTube prank, 1.1 thousand views, and that was from a day ago. Okay, so I want to talk about this clickbait, or not clickbait, video that he did, and I want to tell you what my thoughts are on that since so many people asked me about this, okay? So, I went in and I talked about Deaf Noodles and video explaining that he's starting a new channel, okay, first of all. He talks about in the video a lot that he doesn't care about numbers, okay? But the interesting thing about this is, like, he goes in and he says, like, it's never been about the numbers to me. I don't care about the numbers and things like that. But he keeps on talking about the algorithm and the views and the subs going down. Like, that's a major part of the video of him talking about the fact that the channel is dying. The Deaf Noodles channel is dying. He keeps on saying, he's referenced that he's talked to a lot of people behind the scenes, and the people have said, like, the channel is dead, that the subscribers are going down, the views are going down, the channel is unsavable, basically, at this point, right? So he says he doesn't care about the numbers, but then he goes in to talk about the numbers. So it's very confusing when you're watching it, because he says, like, I don't really care about the numbers. It's never been really about the numbers for me. This is something that I'm passionate about, okay? But you had 5 channels that you were trying to get successful. So I'm very confused about what Deaf Noodles' motive has always been on YouTube, whether his motive was just to do something that he was passionate about, because that's what my motive has always been on YouTube. Yes, it's turned into a job, and I feel very, very blessed that every day I get to get up and make videos, and on 6 different channels if I want to, right? I have 6 different channels that are not the same kind of channels that are trying to beat the algorithm, but are a booktube channel, a Peterisms channel where I read meditations, which, by the way, I mean, I get like 400 to 600 views on that channel, and I have no intention of stopping it anytime soon, because I love interacting with the people on that channel and reading meditations and sharing life experience and things like that, right? So, yeah, I can stand behind that statement that it's not about the numbers to me. But when you have a channel that's going down and you say algorithmically, which is interesting because he does, like, and I'm going to get to this in a second, take a lot of responsibility in this video about how he's basically ruined his career. But then he goes in to talk about the algorithm a lot, which is, for me, I'm like, okay, so do you believe that you ruined your career and that's why the channel is doing poorly? Or do you believe the algorithm is working against you and this is what the people behind the scenes are telling you, okay? Because this is always interesting to me, is that when people believe that they're, like, Shane Dawson, I talked about his video with the cakes and stuff not doing well, and he's changed the title and the thumbnail 14 times, right? Okay, so Shane Dawson must believe that the algorithm is working against him. All these people always say that the algorithm is working against them. Well, maybe it's not the algorithm. Maybe it's the fact that people are just done with you, you know? And I've said this in other videos of mine. Deaf Noodles, Dennis Fatosa, is not somebody that has really, until recently, when he starts doing videos like this, brought somebody into the world, okay, of Deaf Noodles. Like, he's really never made his videos personal or personalized his videos until recently, when he's talked about what's going on behind the scenes, right? So people aren't falling in love with the life of Deaf Noodles or the life of Dennis Fatosa. People are falling in love with watching the commentary channel videos. And if you don't want to do that anymore and you want to completely change your videos and not do that anymore, that's your right as a YouTuber. But there's a lot that goes with that, right? I mean, if somebody completely makes their channel, and this is why people don't really want to change what their content is about on their channel. If somebody makes their entire channel about doing movie reviews, and all of a sudden, like, I just actually saw this happen to somebody not too long ago, that they were getting, like, really great views, I thought, right? Okay, like, I mean, 60 to 80,000 views a video, and they were doing a certain kind of video, and then they switched, and I mean, literally in the middle of it, they switched and did something completely different, and their views went from like 60 to 80,000 views all the way to 2,000 to 3,000 views. Well, that's what happened with Dennis, right? Because he all of a sudden switched his commentary to doing these jokes and talking about and doing live streams and talking about the comedy club and all this kind of stuff. Well, people weren't really that interested in it. You built your audience on the commentary. You said you didn't want to do the commentary anymore, right? So when you switch all of that, people are going to stop following you. Maybe it's not the algorithm. Maybe it's that what people followed you for to begin with, and people aren't really that invested in you as a person because you've never shared that part of it with you, right? Okay, so he goes there and talks about that. He talks about algorithmically the channel is dead. It's on a downward spiral. But what's interesting to me is that he goes on to say he's going to be doing the exact same thing on a different channel, which is, there's Deaf Noodles, that's the channel that he's abandoning, that has like 560,000 subscribers at this point. And he's going to be on a new channel, which is called Deaf Noodles New, okay? And it's interesting because, okay, people stopped watching you because of, he says people stopped watching him because of him, okay? But you also also seem to think it's because of the algorithm, like I said. And this is what's interesting to me, is that these people constantly are trying to trick the algorithm, okay? And, but we can check back in, you know, a few weeks or a few months and see if this has worked for him. He talks in there, it's like, he kind of talks out of both sides of his mouth. And, hey, listen, okay? Like, go after your dream, get your dream, all that kind of stuff, okay? But you're so convinced that this channel is dead that now what you're going to do is you're going to take your community on this 566,000 channel and move it over to a new channel because you think that channel is dead, which I'm going to use an example of something that I did on my channel a while ago, a couple years ago. I think it's 7 years ago now, 6 years ago almost. Doing something very similar, but kind of different in a similar way to give you some advice. But you're taking that and you're saying you're going to start a new community over there. Well, you already have that community watching those videos, because if you look, you're getting between 1.5 thousand to 2,000, 3,000 views a video over on that channel, okay? So you're going to take it over to a new channel. It's going to be the same, but you're not changing the content. You're not changing anything about it. So it's going to be the exact same people that are on that channel that are going to float over. You're actually probably going to lose some of those people, because these people are going to be like, I really don't care about Deaf Noodles that much to follow him to a new channel. Like, he's not that interesting to me. So you're probably going to lose some people, right? This is not going to probably work for you. This is where I think you think that the algorithm has worked against you and it's killing specifically that channel. That's not what it's about, okay? It's about you and the fact that it took you too long to take responsibility for your actions, and that you really have never shared who you are as a person, and so people really haven't ever fallen in love with Dennis Fatosa the person. They've just fallen in love with Deaf Noodles and his commentary, and when you stopped doing that and you changed up your whole thing, a lot of people stopped following you. And then when you became problematic, you know, that was 2 strikes against you, and so people stopped following you for that too, okay? So no matter what channel you start, unless you do something completely different on a different channel, I don't know that it's going to really help you, okay? So then he goes in and he takes a lot of accountability, and he says things in there, you know, like, I messed up a lot in the last year and a half, and, you know, I did a lot of really problematic things. I mean, he takes a lot of responsibility in there, okay? He does say, like, I didn't murder anybody, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, but I did do a lot of things that really hurt my career, and I'm solely responsible for the downfall of my channel. But it's interesting because when you listen through it, it's kind of like, but do you really believe that? Or do you believe that the algorithm is killing your channel? Or do you believe that people starting to unfollow you then affected the algorithm, and now the algorithm has taken over it? I mean, these people, listen, okay? There are a lot of people out there, like when I started YouTube, I just wanted to be part of YouTube. For those of you that don't know, I started on BookTube, okay? And I had written a book in 2014, and my literary agent and publisher suggested that I reach out to booktubers. I didn't even know that BookTube existed, okay? So I started watching a lot of booktubers, and because I'm a person that loves to read so much, and I started watching all these people talking about books, I was like, I really want to be part of this community. Like, this is something that I feel like I want to be part of, I need to be part of, okay? So I started making BookTube videos out of just this desire, okay, of being so passionate about it. And then my other channels kind of resulted from all of that, right? Like, it's always just been something that, like, I could not do because I wanted to be part of it. I was so passionate about it. And at the time that I started, I never really believed that the stories that people share with me and the DMs that I get and the kindness and the compassion that people show me and just the interactions that I have with, I never in a million years would have ever thought that, right? But there are a lot of YouTubers out there that sit out there and they think, okay, my main goal is to make this my career. My career is social media. And these are people that will refer to themselves as influencers, creators, brands, and things like that, because they see themselves as businesses, okay? And they've seen themselves as businesses for a very long time, which is why I think it's phony, okay? I think it's disingenuous. Because what these people do, and a lot of them, like, I mean, I've met kids that are like 25 years old, right? Which is a kid to me. And I'll meet somebody that's 25 years old and they'll be like, yeah, like, I'm starting like my brand on TikTok. And they have like 2 TikToks out. I'm like, oh, really? Like, and I'm very nice about it, right? I'm like, oh, so what's your goal? Well, my goal is to have 1 million, you know, followers by the end of the year, and I'm going to be posting. I mean, like, they have a whole business plan of how they're going to do it. That's never been my thing, okay? My thing has always been to do it because I love it, right? And I feel blessed. I get to get up every single day and do something that I love. And that's because you guys watch my videos. And I'm so grateful for that. I mean, I have an amazing life because I get to get up every single day and make videos that I just never thought this would be my life, right? But there's a lot of people out there that try to trick the system. They come up with business plans. They constantly are thinking about numbers and algorithms and who should I follow? Who should I collab with? Who should I do this with? Who should I do? I mean, that is such like a business plan of how to become an influencer that like there's a lot of people that do that. And for a lot of people it works. And I do believe that for Dennis, it worked for a long time. I think what Dennis did was, Dennis watched a lot of other commentary channels and he kind of like picked and chose like what he liked from one person and what he liked from another person, and he became a combination of a lot of commentary channels. Then sat down and gave that, okay, and shared 4 to 5 stories. He did something that nobody else was doing. The other thing that Dennis did that he doesn't talk a lot about, right, is that one of the ways that he built his platform was that he was making a lot of videos about trending topics. This is another way to trick the algorithm, okay? He did a lot of videos about the Philippines, and at that time, like, a lot of those videos were trending. Like, there are certain videos that if you, like, that are timely in manner, or if you do them, like if you just did, like, let's say if you did a dedicated channel to, like, K-pop or something like that, you know, and you made 10 videos about K-pop, and you, like, exposing this about K-pop, or doing that about K-pop, or you Googled, what's the hottest trends on K-pop, and the hottest trends on K-pop, I'm just making this up, right, where, I don't know, like, K-pop bands talking about orange soda, or something like that, and you did a video called K-pop bands talk about orange soda, and that video explodes, it would bring a lot of subscribers to your channel, okay? But he doesn't talk about that. He doesn't talk about the fact that those early videos that he did that got him a lot of subscribers were that are still sitting at like, those are his most popular videos if you look at his channel, right? So those garnered him a lot of subscribers, but he stopped doing those videos. Those videos were only intentionally to get subscribers on his channel. It was to trick the algorithm. Well, you didn't keep up with that. And you keep on changing what you're doing. And I'm a believer, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, okay? But you keep on trying to fix something that is maybe broke at this point because you broke it. When I think to just be sincere and genuine and sit down with your audience and say, this is what I want to do going forward, you know? He talks in there about how back in the day he was like on... He says something about, like, being on food stamps and being on, that he was living in this apartment. He was, listen, and I don't know, I'm not going to, you know, say that his story's not true, but how you're getting 1.1 thousand views a video and you are able to survive financially, and you have a comedy club that you are paying for that I cannot believe is garnering you a great amount of money. You know, I mean, a lot of people have speculated where his money comes from, and I'm not going to do that, but it is interesting to me, okay? And I think you should feel very blessed that you're able to live out your dreams and financially be able to take care of yourself while you're doing that, okay? Because, I mean, he said he has a lot of businesses that he runs. I don't know what that, I don't know what those businesses are. But anyway, let me get back to this video. So he goes in there after he talks about taking accountability, and he talks a lot about his brand. He goes on and on about his brand. But speaking of brands, there's something that I want to say, okay? So I got this comment on my Peter Does Stuff video. Well, first of all, this gal commented to me, and she said, when your comment is deleted. Okay? Here, I have it pulled up right here. You can go to my Peter Does Stuff channel. I commented back to her, and I said, I don't delete comments on this channel. Sorry, right? She didn't respond to that. So then this is the comment that she said I deleted. She said, okay, by the way, the video that I did is called My New Era, and it was about... The whole video was dedicated in talking about when you set healthy boundaries and limits for people, that they're threatened by that, like people that bring toxicity and negativity into your life, that they're threatened by that. And so then they start saying things to you like, are you angry? Like, what's wrong? What's going on in your life? Like, you seem very upset, right? And they do that to box you in because they don't want you to change, because they're threatened that if you change, that they might be exited out of your life, right? Okay, so that was what that whole video was dedicated about, okay? Setting healthy limits and boundaries for your life. So this gal, she comments on my video, and she said, justify all you want. You are doing the same thing in fronting. Your brand is talking about the misery of others. You're gaslighting yourself, Peter. And I commented back to it. I didn't disagree with her or say anything. I just said, is this the comment you said I deleted? I still see it. And somebody else commented on there and said, I see it. Or, okay, look, here it is. Happy now? She didn't respond to that. But anyway, I just want to bring that up because she referenced my brand, okay? First of all, where's your apology for saying that I deleted comments when I didn't, okay? It's always interesting to me when people want to call me out for stuff and say I did something, and then when I prove that I didn't do that, they never apologize for it, right? Like, they never come back and say, like, oh, wow, I'm really sorry. Like, you would expect that from us in a video, but you you can't come out and apologize and say, oh, like, wow, I really got this wrong, okay? And people that don't take accountability for their actions, like Dennis has done in the past and like other people, are part of the reason why we get a bad rap for all that kind of stuff, okay? So if you want to call us out for all that, please feel free in the comment section of my video to apologize greatly for accusing me of deleting comments, which I didn't do, okay? Thank you, and I proved that on there. So anyway, so she talks about my brand, right? Okay, so you mean my channel, where I talk about your favorite creator and their lies and their manipulations and how they're trying to trick their audience, and I'm just bringing attention to that to make the customer aware, because most of these people have things that they're selling, like makeup and things like that. That's what you're talking about? Okay, all right. That's my brand? No. I always give these people free life experience and advice to help them grow as people, and I actually give very, very good advice. Regularly on my videos, people comment and say, Peter, you should be a PR agency, or Peter, these people should hire you because you give them such great advice, you know? That's always kind of forgotten though, right? That I give like the free advice to people because I want people to grow and change as human beings. I really do. And I'm going to give Dennis some advice here at the end of this video as well. But I don't have a brand, okay? I've never claimed to have a brand. I don't like the word influencer. I don't even really like the word creator. I say I'm a dude with a camera. From time to time, I will refer to other people as influencers or creators because it's just easier sometimes. But I think that's a phony ass word and I can't stand it, okay? And I don't think I've ever once said any time, I mean, I don't know, maybe somebody can pull a clip of me saying this 5 years ago or something, but I don't even think then. I don't think I have ever referred to my brand. I think that is the most phony ass crap that when YouTubers want to say, my brand, okay? And that is, I mean, to me, it is just unbelievable. So he goes on and talks about the brand. I love the brand. Let the brand continue to grow. Let it be all about the brand. And I'm sitting here and I'm watching this and I'm like, are you talking about you, Dennis Fatosa? Are you talking about Def Noodles, the character? Or are you talking about your brand? Okay? And this is the phoniness of it, right? Okay, so he goes on, he says, this is the part of the egotism of YouTube that all these people keep on referring to themselves as brands, okay? I have never in my life, I mean, you can have a TikToker that has 10,000 followers and they're referring to their brand. Okay, baby, you ain't no brand, okay? You're somebody that got one viral TikTok and now you think that it's your life, okay? You ain't a brand. You're a person that has a TikTok following. You're a YouTuber that does commentary. You're not a brand, okay? And he goes on and talks about how, like, the Minecraft and the ears, and he so loved that character. And I'm like, was this a deep thought out character? I mean, you literally had Minecraft in the background and you wore some cat ears, okay? It wasn't really that deep. There's a lot of people that wear cat ears, okay? I'm just saying, okay? I flip a fan. It's not like I think this is a genius move. I wear a trucker hat in every video. I wear some Whitney Houston t-shirts, okay? I sing a song. That's not my brand. I never claimed that to be my brand, okay? I never acted like it was this character that I came up with and I fell in love with. That's you. That's what you're trying to do, is come up with stuff to try to trick people. That's why it got exhausting to you, because he talks in there about how it was exhausting to do that character. I'm sure it was, because it was phony and disingenuous. Now you want people to fall in love with just Dennis Fatosa, who you are, okay? People don't know who you are. It's kind of too late at this point, because you've given I mean, the first comment on this video, first of all, was somebody said, bro, you've done this a million times, which is true. You've tried to reinvent yourself so many times because you're trying to figure out what's going to work, okay? And none of it's working at this point. I don't know what to tell you, except for just keep on pumping out videos and hope you start getting more followers back, you know? I don't know what to tell you. So, hey, how are you? Hey. So, you know, I wanted to say to him that, did you do it on YouTube because you were passionate about it? Or just because you wanted to become big and successful? I think that you need to reevaluate your motive a little bit. You know, I'm somebody that things in life, when maybe they're not necessarily going the way that I want them to, you know, my sponsor in recovery says to me, you know, like, what are your motives? Like, reevaluate your motives. And I have to kind of look at it, right? And like, for me, one of the reasons why I take no issue with 400 to 600 views on a Peterisms video, and I'm very grateful for that, is because I love that channel. I'm passionate about that channel, right? So I have no issue with that. You obviously don't do this for the passion. You obviously do this because you wanted this to be a career, which is totally fine if that's what you want to do, right? But then maybe reevaluate your motives. Reevaluate why you're doing this. I haven't met that many people on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram that aren't completely passionate about what they do, and they try to fake their way into the passion, that it lasts very long for them. Okay, this is going to stop. Hold on a second. If you look at the people out there that are huge, okay, on social media platforms, yes, many of them have turned it into their brand or a business or whatever, right? But most of them start because they're super passionate about it, and you can see that in what they do. Most of them start because they absolutely just love what they're doing, right? And if you talk to some of these people, what you find is that that's true. Like, they're very excited about this whole situation, right? And that they never in a million years thought that this would happen to them and things like that. So I think you missed that somewhere along the way because your goal was to always be successful on YouTube, right? Well, you got that, right? So you screwed it up. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's like you work, let's say you said you've been doing all this since, like, you know, for 10 years or whatever, right? Like, you worked behind the scenes and now you're on your channel, you've been doing all this kind of stuff in the entertainment field for 10 years. It's like if you would work up that far, right? And then all of a sudden you're like vice president of ABC, and then you just like pull down your pants and run through the halls and start pissing on everybody. Like, you're the one that threw your career away that you worked so hard for, because I don't believe that you did it because you're passionate about it. You say that, but then you prove otherwise by talking about the algorithm and the numbers, and you're going to recreate this community over there, which anybody in the world would be like, what do you mean you're recreating the community on another channel? Like, you're doing the exact same thing on another channel. Why would you? It makes absolutely no sense. I don't care what expert in the world has told you that your channel is dead. If you really don't care about the numbers, you wouldn't care about the channel being dead. You're going to get the same viewership over there that you're getting on these videos. And in fact, from what I just saw, you're getting less views on your new channel. So the 2,000 to 3,000 people that were watching your videos on your other channel are not going over there yet. You know, I don't know if this is going to be great for you, but maybe reevaluate your motive and do what you're passionate about, you know? I think he's too afraid. He makes jokes about that, you know, people don't think he's funny and whatever, but he wants so hard to be a diehard comedian. I don't know. Maybe put 100% of your time and your effort into that. You know, I gave you some very good advice in the past. You didn't listen to it. I said maybe go mentor with some comedians. Go maybe work at a comedy club. Maybe really, you know, pay your dues and really learn what that's about. Learn what stand-up comedy is about, you know? I remember there was a movie back in the day called Punchline. It was with Tom Hanks and Sally Field, and it talked about stand-up comedians and working the road and how difficult it was and having to learn the paying your dues and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, there's paying your dues in every field. If this is something you're so passionate about, stop pumping out 2 to 3 videos a day. First of all, he goes in there and talks about how hard it is to film these videos and whatever. Girl, sometimes, and yes, I know I don't edit my videos, but a lot of your videos aren't highly edited either, okay? And I pump out sometimes 4 to 6 videos a day. So don't cry me a river about how difficult it is. And all these businesses that you run and why you have to come into your, I mean, it seems like all to me like smoke and mirrors. I don't know. Like, and at the same time, I'm kind of watching it and I'm like, I feel really bad for him. Like, he just seems completely lost. Like, he doesn't know what to do, you know? If you're passionate about comedy and you're only 30 years old, turn that into your life. Go pay your dues. Go work in a comedy club. Go work the road, you know? Take it on the road. Somebody that has no experience with comedy does not just open a comedy club and think that they know, number one, what they're going to do. Now, you said that your comedy club is doing well. I'm happy for you, okay? I'm happy that you're giving people the platform to be able to have a comedy club and things like, or have a comedy club to perform in. Great, that's fine. If you want to be a business owner as a comedy club owner, hey, more power to you. What do you know about that? You know? Because you faked your way to being successful on YouTube, you think it's going to work the same way with a comedy club? I don't think that. I think people, you know, from the Laugh Factory and Caroline's Comedy Club and all these famous comedy clubs, I mean, they are people that really invested a lot of time and energy in looking and seeing what works in a comedy club. If you want that, go do the work. You're not too old for that. I'm not too old for that. Baby, listen, I'm 51 years old. I got a lot of dreams I still want to accomplish out there, okay? So go after your dreams, but do the work to achieve them successfully. You're obviously somebody that knows how to come up with a business plan, how to make it work, and how to be successful. You prove that with your Deaf Noodles channel. And I think one of the things that's hardest for a lot of us out there that are commentary channels is we can give great commentary to anybody else, but sometimes we have a hard time like figuring it out for ourselves. And I think that's what he's having a hard time doing. And I do feel for him on that level. But I don't think he loves YouTube anymore. I don't really think he does. And I think that reads in a lot of his videos because he's constantly trying to figure out, like, what am I supposed to do with this YouTube? And hopefully the channel will build. And yes, it won't have 1 million subscribers overnight. No, it's not. It probably will never have that. No offense, but you did that, okay? So if you're so passionate about the comedy club, which is obviously where your passion is, then go pursue that, you know? I mean, I'm not telling you to leave YouTube if you want to continue to do YouTube. But I don't know. You know, years ago, I started my vlog channel. And my vlog channel started out of the fact that this channel was not growing. So I was like, I had always watched vlogs. Back in the day, there were a lot of YouTubers that I watched their vlogs where they would put up daily vlogs. And so I thought, I'm going to start a daily vlog. And when I started it, I didn't even know, you know, like, the videos were like 9, 12, 15 minutes long. And I never really knew, like, what would happen with that channel. I thought maybe I'd do it consistently for 30 days, you know. We have been, this is my 7th year of doing it, I think, okay? And in December, it will be the end of 7 years. And I have vlogged every single day with the exception of when I had pancreatitis, after the accident, and after Pee-Pee passed away. I take a day off now here and there because I've learned that that's healthy for me to take a day off now and then. But, you know, I didn't do that channel to try to rebuild a new fan base or whatever. I did it because I was so passionate about YouTube that if people weren't watching my videos over there, I wanted to go somewhere. I was honest about it, at least. To be honest about it. I was like, I want somebody to watch my videos, and I love vlogging. So I'm just going to get a camera and talk about whatever I want to talk about. That channel has stayed stagnant for about 2 years, okay? I think I get pretty good views on that channel for what I do. I mean, I get between, like, you know, 3,000 and 4,000 views a video, and I just sit here in this chair and I just talk and share stories about my day and my life and memories of my past and things like that, and I love that channel. That channel's my heartstone, okay? That channel is cathartic for me, and I lived through that channel, and I've grown through that channel, and I've cried on that channel, and I've laughed on that channel, and I've shared about TV shows that I watch, TV shows that I watch, and books that I've read, and food that I've had, and I talk to my neighbors on it, you know, and I love that channel. I really do, and it turned into something that I absolutely loved. But I wanted to do something completely different on that channel. I didn't want to recreate what I did. I wasn't just going after the numbers and the subscribers, you know? I wanted to be able to keep on doing videos on a daily basis and, you know, do something that was completely different where I could do, you know, whatever I wanted to do on that channel. And I'm so grateful for that. So Dennis, maybe do the same thing, you know? Maybe you say you just want to speak to your audience. Maybe make a channel where you just speak to your audience and you don't have to talk about pop culture figures or YouTubers that you think are going to pull views. Maybe just talk about whatever, you know? I went into that not worried about whether or not I was going to get any views. I don't put huge clickbaity titles in there. I mean, let's go through my channel for the last couple days and let's see what the titles are in my vlogs. I mean, every day it's just like a line that I pull from my vlog, right? Yesterday were all these comments because I responded to comments, and before that, is it almost over? Plans for the future, a very busy day, conspiracy theories, not this, a very long day, I never thought I could, this is a profound moment, nosy neighbor, we need to have a talk, thank you so much, it's raining, it's pouring. I mean, they're not clickbait titles over there typically, you know? And I have so much fun with that. And you know, I have had people on YouTube say to me, if you got rid of your vlog channel, and you got rid of your Peterisms channel, and you got rid of your BookTube channel and all these other channels, then you could dedicate more time to editing your videos on your Peter Monn channel, and your Peter Monn channel would do better. Those channels have saved my life at times that I did not want to go on and continue to talk about social media figures. I love doing it, I have opinions about it, and I enjoy doing it. But those channels, to be able to, like, talk about somebody and then go and vlog and just sit and talk to people about my day, like, that is cathartic for me, you know? Find the passion in it, Dennis. Do something that's going to make you really, really happy. So I want to go in here and he said he reached out to a bunch of people who said the channel was dead and this is what he should do. Well, you should have reached out to me. I would have given you free advice, not based on algorithms, but based on truth, like I just did. And I'm going to give you some advice here in a second. But this is the real reason that you were successful. And it was not because of the ears or whatnot that you want to say, okay? It was because you were covering several hot topics that people could get their info in for less than 20 minutes with some added sarcasm, okay? Not comedy, added sarcasm. You had a quick wit to you, okay? And it worked on that channel. It was a quick fix. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You were successful. I know you weren't happy, okay, which is why you said you changed it. But if your goal, and this is where I say reevaluate your motives, you know? Because if your goal was to be successful, you were successful, which is why you said you continued it. You said you weren't doing drama commentary anymore. Then you started the comedy club. Then you started saying really nasty stuff. You confused your audience. Your audience was completely confused. They had no idea what was going on. You know, and I think you need to ask yourself, like, is this your dream? What? I mean, he said in there that this is his dream, right? To be successful and get a lot of views. I mean, you talk in there about how you've helped a lot of people. You say this a couple times where people will come up to you and say, you got me through the lockdown, or you got me through this, or whatever, and I really appreciate it. Having been somebody that has received comments like that too, I know what those comments feel like. Many days when I don't want to make videos, that's the reason why I make videos, okay? That specifically alone. When I make a video and one person says, on my Peterisms video, out of 400 views, somebody says, I needed this video today. This video really helped me. That's why I do it. Because of that connection that I never expected to get when I started YouTube 7 years ago. So ask yourself why you're doing this, you know? But, hold on a second. Check your motives. Your new channel is exactly the same, which means it's really about the algorithm to you. That's all it's really about, and that's what you've been told, okay? Okay, that's fine, but if you're not changing anything with the content, then I'm confused as to why you're going to a different channel. Like, it doesn't really make sense. I know it makes sense to you, because you're behind the scenes talking brands, talking about algorithms, talking about numbers, and this is what you didn't want to come through in your video. You wanted your video to come through and act like, well, I'm very, very sincere. Like, I'm changing channel. You kept on saying to create a new community. You already have that community on your Deaf Noodles channel. Those are the 2,000 to 3,000 people that have stayed there and are continuing to watch your videos. And some of them will follow you over and some of them won't, okay? But you didn't want that to come through, but it comes through very, very clearly that a lot of people are in your head telling you this channel is dead, it's never going to grow. That's what you're worried about, right? So you're going to start this new channel and hope that it'll grow. Well, it's not really about the algorithm. It's really about how you screwed the pooch. And I think you know that, okay? But you're trying any way you possibly can to fix this. So, you know, I'm glad that you're happier now. I really am. Like, I really am glad that you're happier now, you know? And I hope that this new channel brings you some new happiness. If you say it's about the community, I really hope that that's, you know, helps you. I think one of the important lessons I've ever learned in my life is how to be honest with myself. You know, and I've shared this a lot in videos of mine lately, that you have to be honest with yourself. You know, is this to house a new community that you already had, or is it to try to trick the algorithm, you know? Because if it's the latter and that doesn't work, you're going to end up disappointed again. You really are, you know? And I think the thing for me is, and I've shared this story a lot in videos lately, but there was a period of time when I came back into the rooms of recovery and I was just dying inside, you know? And I heard this person's story, and they shared in there that every day they would go to this meeting, and this person, I've shared this a lot in videos lately because it's such a profound moment to me, and that this person would ask them every day, how are you doing? And they'd say, I'm doing okay, I'm doing fine, whatever, right? And then one day, they just decided to be honest, and they were like, I'm not doing very well. And that was the moment that everything changed for them, you know, because they started being able to be honest with themselves. And I heard that lead, and I realized I'm dying inside. I'm not being honest with myself. I'm not being honest with people around me. I'm not even giving people the opportunity to help me. I'm not giving myself the opportunity to help or to grow, right? And so I made a commitment, because there was a person that came to my noon meeting every day, that the next time that I saw her, I was going to say, you know, if she asked me, how are you doing? I'm going to say, because I would say every day, I'm doing fine, I'm doing okay, blah, blah, blah. And you know, fine in recovery stands for effed up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And I made a commitment that the next time she asked me, I was going to say, I'm not doing very good. And she asked me, and I said, I'm not doing very good. And I was, for once, able to be honest with myself. And things started to change, you know? Things started to change because I was able to be honest with myself about what I wanted out of my life, and the things that stood in the way, and the things that were obstacles. I was able to be, you know, honest with the fact that I had never really truly grieved my mom, or all of the things that were bringing me down, or the people that I felt like had betrayed me. I was able to be honest about the things that I had done in my life. I was able to be honest about the lack of emotional sobriety that I had in my life, or that I was in a really miserable space. And then I was able to start working on that. And I think that you got to be honest with yourself about what your true motive is in all of this. Is it to trick the algorithm because you think that you're going to get another 500,000 subscribers? Or is it because you're truly trying to make yourself happy? What I want for you, Dennis, okay, is for you to truly be happy and continue to grow as a person. And like, I'm not passing any judgment on you. I really am not, okay? But I think, like, you've attempted to take a lot of accountability. You've attempted to apologize to a lot of people. I think to some degree you've made amends. I think there's a lot of people that you still owe apologies to, and you still owe accountability to, and you seem to get kind of fired up at times about some things, which is fine, okay? But then ask yourself, what do I really want out of my life? You're 30 years old, I think, right? You have a lot of life to live yet. Figure that out. You don't have to spend it on YouTube trying to trick the algorithm and figure out how to be successful. You know, success is defined by the person that is living it. Figure out how you want to define your own success, and then go live it and be happy. Anyway, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.